Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're wondering why I look like a pile of trash, let's be serious, nobody's wondering that. Everyone in my house has some sort of illness. I'm exhausted. Let's just start over. This isn't even making any sense. I'm gonna do a story time today inspired by the Gabbie Show, Gabbie Hannah, and her psycho roommate. And really, what's funny is that clearly I am late to the game. I will start by saying I was in college and I moved in with a girl. We wanted to live kind of somewhere quiet. This building was so lovely, so fabulous. It was maybe 10 minutes away from the school. It was mostly family and some elderly people. So, you know what? We were the perfect fit. I was 20. And so compared to, some students who are starting school at like 17, I felt old. I mean, I'm obviously old. I'm old as shit. But like, I felt old at the time. And it was a 2-bedroom apartment. And unfortunately, the girl I was living with did not stay. She got very sick early in the year and she went back home. And I mostly lived by myself that year for a little bit, and that was fine. So she continued to pay rent there. And sometime around probably the end of March, this one girl sort of started chatting with me about, where I was living. I had a 2-bedroom apartment and my roommate didn't live there anymore. She started inquiring if, I was looking for a roommate because she was looking for somewhere to live. It's a little bit strange, I guess, looking back, that in like March of a school year, you'd be looking for a place to live. The definite like red flag. She seemed like a nice person, and I basically directed her to the other girl that she would basically be subletting from, because I was like, that's all between you and her. And she asked me, which should have been another red flag, do you think I could lowball them on the rent? So there's like kind of 2 red flags before anything even happens. And the new roommate came and she brought her boyfriend with her to bring her things. And I found out at that point that she was currently living with him and his family, and she needed to leave. And a lot of red flags, like these should be your alarm bells. So this girl is looking for somewhere to live more than halfway through the school year. She wants to lowball people for rent. She's leaving her current boyfriend's home. They were not breaking up. They were still together. So she'd already been asked to leave one location. She'd been asked to get the hell out. So she's left one place. She's currently living with her boyfriend's family. And I guess her and the boyfriend's mother weren't getting along, and she'd been asked to find somewhere else to live again. Now, if I had known all this in advance, I know what you're thinking. I hope I know what you're thinking. Probably should have asked some precursor questions, a little bit of an interview, and I didn't do any of that. So, my God, do you hear my voice? I'm like a frog. Wah, wah. So she moves in and it's fine. We're getting along fairly well. We finished our classes, we wrote our exams, like we're excited. And she said, let's have a few friends over and let's go out to a bar. So we did. Her boyfriend and a few of his friends came by. Not anybody else that I really knew. It's an exciting night. Like basically everybody's exams are over, so I'm expecting to see all kinds of people from school downtown once we get out there. So we drink a lot, and I know me personally drink way too much. It's getting a little bit rowdy. It's probably about 10 or 11 at this point. We decide to go. We get to the bar. It's packed. And I'm like, I have to go pee. And me and her weren't really close friends. And she doesn't offer to go with me, and I don't ask her, which was probably my fault a little bit, if I'm taking any blame. So basically, I line up. It's a long, long line. And I go to the bathroom, I come back out, can't find anybody. Like, part of the problem probably was that I didn't recognize anybody. I wouldn't have. Like, I knew her and her boyfriend's face, and I don't know if I could even tell you what anybody else there looked like that I was with. I go and I get a drink, and I do like a full lap of the whole place. I come across some people that I recognize, and I get really excited. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm here, and I feel like I'm here by myself. Oh my God. That's my like teen girl scream. Oh my God. But yeah, I'm excited to see people that I recognize, and they seem happy to see me too. It's, midnight, maybe 12:30, and they're like, oh, we're gonna leave. We're heading out. Like, do you want to come with? But I was like, dudes, I will come with you. Like, you seem like good people. And I did know them. Like, they were friends from class. And so I went with them back to their place. Hung out. I think I played Mario Kart for a while. I can't remember if there was pizza. And basically fell asleep. Like, that's where I stayed. And got up in the morning, and off I went back to my apartment. And I got there, and this is where I say, oh, 1 second. Wow. Anyway, so this is where the story kind of goes into finding out she is a total and utter psycho bitch. I walk in and she's awake. It's probably 8 or 9 in the morning, but she's awake and she's like on the prowl. She's like, where were you? And I was like, okay, hi, good morning. Good morning. How are you? And I'm like, oh, I ran into these people. And like, she's like, no, like, where were you? You weren't at the bar. You didn't come home. Like, I didn't know where you were. Now, cell phones were popular at this time, but they were not nearly as prevalent as they are today. I didn't have one. I did not have a cell phone at this time. I explained to her, I went to the bathroom. I hung around, like I got a drink at the bar. I couldn't find anybody. I didn't see anybody. And she starts fucking freaking out. She's like, I can't believe you would do that. You left us there. I didn't have a key. What? She's like, you left me and all those people at the bar, and we didn't have a key to the apartment. So I'm like, hold up. Several things. She had been given a key to the apartment, so she fully had a key. So don't think that she's trying to say like, oh, I never gave her a key to the apartment. No, this chick had a key to the apartment. She didn't bring one with her because she assumed since we were hanging out, I totally felt like this is like the episode of Friends, like where Monica's like, got the keys? Rachel's like, got the keys? Or wait, that sounds like a question too. It was like, she assumed I would have a key, so she didn't bring one, but she never asked me. She never told me she wasn't bringing a key. There was no communication there, and we weren't that close of friends. This had been like a really close friend, like a best friend my whole life, where you kind of read each other's mind. Then totally it would be expected, like, do you have the lip gloss? Do I have the lip gloss? Who has the gum? Her and I were not that kind of friends. Yeah, I was a little stunned, and she's like, I didn't have my key. So then I'm thinking, well, how did she get in? She says, I didn't have a key. So I went to the, oh my God, I'm blanking. What is the word of the guy? The building manager. We just told him we needed to get in. So now, not only do I have a psycho roommate, but what the fuck is wrong with my building that somebody that they've maybe seen a few times over the last 30 days, whose name is not on the lease, shows up at their door in the middle of the night and they just let them into the apartment? What? I'm like, okay, well, you're fine now and I'm fine now. And like, she's like, I broke into your room. I had a lock on my door, on my bedroom door. She's like, well, I broke into your room to look at your computer to see if I could figure out where you might have gone. I swear to you, at this time, the only thing I had on my computer was ICQ. I think I also had MSN Messenger. But I'm like, what the fuck kind of like FBI evidence do you think you're going to find on my like big, thick, like massive desktop? So thanks the fuck for breaking into my room and going through my personal belongings. That's super awesome too. It's nice living with you. I started getting sort of a bad vibe. And life without cell phones was just so very, very hard, you guys. Like, it's just not the same now. This would never have happened now. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm hungover. I feel yucky. I'm going to lay down. But I get a phone call. It's the rental office. And they'd like me to come down so they can speak to me. So I walked down to the rental office to chat with them. And they let me know right off the bat that I'm going to be evicted. Evicted. I'm going to be evicted. Living in an apartment for most of the year, all alone by myself, quietly, just watching Mary-Kate and Ashley movies and eating Quiznos, Body by Quiznos. And I was going to be evicted. And they then detailed to me the reasons why. Number one, noise made in the evening. They got 2 or 3 noise complaints from us. So they were like a little shocked, but they were also like, well, we're not happy about this. Number 2, at about 3 o'clock in the morning, some individuals showed up and started throwing rocks at random balcony windows. Now, I guess they needed to get in, this girl and her boyfriend. He couldn't go home because his keys and stuff were in the house, or in my apartment. So they decided they would try to wake me up. And then when I didn't wake up because I wasn't in there, he decided he could climb up onto the balcony and probably either knock on more windows or open the door to get in, which is great. And unfortunately for him, he did not successfully make it. Even if he had successfully made it up, I assure you the door was locked. So he would have been sad. And clearly I was not in there. So when that was not successful and he could not get in that way, they decided to go to the building management. They went down, there's like a little office in the building, and saw the number, called apparently obsessively for like half an hour, 45 minutes in the middle of the night. We're talking like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So when he finally came down to see what they needed, she proceeded to tell him that she was my previous roommate. She gave the name of my previous roommate. However, the fucking dumbass that she is didn't know her own last name. So she tells them the first name of the person on the lease. And when they say, what's your full name, or like, give us more information, she knows nothing fucking else about it. So she tried to bullshit her way in, and unfortunately for me, the fucking psycho did it because they let her in. So they let her into the apartment because she said, oh, I've just been staying here. Now here is something that I didn't know. I hadn't read my lease very clearly, and I was not allowed to sublet. So when she said I'd been staying here, I got a lot of shit for that. That was a problem. So she got in. She said she needed her keys. She needed this and that and whatever. And they told her, okay, no problem. Her boyfriend got his stuff. She supposedly got her stuff. But then she told them, I'm just going to stay here. I'm worried about my friend. I wish they had asked her what my last name was, because I swear to fucking God, she would have had no idea. And I realize this all may seem very dramatic to those of you who now have cell phones and can just text each other, oh, my plans, this is what I'm doing now. I can't find you guys. Oh, we're over here by the bar. Oh, we're, on the dance floor. Like, life was not that simple, okay? I have more to add to the story, but I think I will save it for another day, about what happened when she needed to get her things out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that none of you have had a roommate as terrible as my crazy psycho sketchbag roommate. Please let me know in the comments if you have. I'd love to hear your story. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Love you all.